really all around your house when it comes to bringing the beauty of gardens and gardening, and maybe it's just watering your plants or maybe cleaning the car right now. We've got an awesome hose. Now, this hose is unlike any other hose out there, and we're gonna prove that in just a second. But I kinda wanna tell you the story behind it. We have two colors. We have either the black or we have the blue. We also have a special nozzle that comes with it, which actually has 7 spray positions that are included with our exclusive configuration. Now here's the sizes we have. We start at 50 foot, we have a 70 foot, and we have a 100 foot as an option. Now, little heads up. The 100 foot typically sells out first. Everybody's just like, well, I'm just gonna go for the big long one. Okay, because if you're at 75 feet for $34, for a few bucks more, you might as well get the 100 foot. And people want the length as well. So don't wait if you want that largest option. But why has it been so popular? Well, to tell you, Lou Caputo is gonna be joining me in just a second. But I'll tell you what's really cool. So in front of me, I'll show you this right here. We are talking about, guys, do you know the length of this, Ben? This is 100 foot, is it really? Okay, good. All right, so here. Now, how many of you have ever had one of those old nasty green hoses? And they weigh a ton, and they're so annoying because you can never roll them back up. They never look as good as the day you bought them, right? This is 100 feet of some of the most durable hose you will ever own in your life. You can put it in a planting pot. That's how we have ours at home. We have a little pretty pot outside, and instead of having a gangly, horrible like hose and it's all over the place and it's too heavy and it's ugly, we literally tuck ours inside a pot and you can't even see it. So that's kind of the beauty of it. But what makes this extra special, it's truly its durability and its strength. And I know we've got some video to show you, but this is meant to really take it. This is meant to be very lightweight, but very strong. That's why it's called the Bionic Force. Of course, you get the nozzle on the front. It's gonna have 7 different spray patterns that you can use. And again, we have all 3 links back in stock, but that 100 footer always is the first to sell out, okay? And we've got FlexPay on everything. Lou is ready to go. Hi, Lou, welcome back. I saw you earlier, and I know we've got a couple of great items coming up tonight, and this is one of those.
We do. Yeah, this is one of those. And you know, this is one of those items that you look at it and you think like, wait a minute, I've seen something like this before. Well, that's because this hose, the Bionic Force hose, is modeled after the hose that firefighters use. And that's why when I hold it this way, you can see there that it's an inch and a quarter thick. But then when I hold it sideways and there's no water in it, it lays flat. And that's one of the cool features of this. It's made from a material called MXZ7, okay? And what that means is it's gonna be very, very strong. It's very, very durable, but it's gonna be incredibly lightweight. One of my favorite features of this, Suzanne, is the handle. And that may not seem like a big deal, but if you've ever struggled to either put a nozzle on a hose or actually connect a hose to a spigot, okay, you could tell that that's what this is for, that handle there. So if you have any problems with limited mobility in your hands, arthritis or anything like that, you're gonna be able to use this and get a really, really great grip on this. Now, the other thing, Suzanne, is weight. Now, you've been playing around with this, you've been holding it. It's a very lightweight hose, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible, yeah. I mean, look at this, I can literally hold it in one hand. I mean,
yeah.
It's that easy.
I mean, now, and you know, here's the crazy thing, okay? I've got 2 digital scales here in front of me.
Okay.
And, you know, we put 125 feet, which is a length we don't have right now, but 125 feet of the Bionic Force hose on this scale. And then we put 125 feet of a regular rubber hose on the opposite scale. And what's interesting about this is, first of all, we had to go out and do a 100-foot length of garden hose, rubber garden hose, with a 25-foot length because nobody else makes the 125s. But beyond that, look at the weight difference. 17.6 pounds on the rubber hose, and then 6 pounds over here on the Bionic Force hose. So it's almost a 3 times difference in weight. And then add water on top of that, and think about dragging that around your yard.
Oh, right, exactly. Well, and the thing is, I love is that they even ran crush test on this. So, you know, a lot of times you get those awful green hoses, and they get bent, and they get cracked, and all that. But talk about the crush test, will you?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing about this hose is that they have driven over this hose. I personally have driven over my hose, my Bionic Force hose, and it does nothing to it. It does nothing to hurt the hose. And they're made to be drug around the yard. They're made to be drug under your chain link fence. They're made to be go over your pavers. You know, any place where you need to use these, you absolutely can with the Bionic Force hose. Now, I want to show you something else. I'm going to stay here at my desk for a second. I want to show you one of the other interesting things about it, because it's not just about being lightweight, Suzanne. It's about being compact, okay? This bucket is just a standard bucket that anybody out there might use to wash their car, okay? But inside of it, this is actually over 100 feet of the Bionic Force hose in just a regular bucket. Look at that right there. So if you live in an apartment, an RV, if you're a boater, you can absolutely now have that length of hose that you need, but you don't need all the space to keep it like you would with 100 feet of a regular garden hose.
Yeah, it's so true, Lou, too. And here's the thing, I love the one you have bundled up there in the studio, the garden hose, that weighs like 17 pounds, because that is the first and last time it'll look that good. You know what I mean? You buy it and it's all nice and tight and wound up, and then once you clip it and it explodes, you never get it back. Or how many of you how many people in your family leave the hose on the ground because they won't take the time to roll it back in on that big honking thing, or they won't take it and strap it back over that hook because it's too awkward and it's too heavy? Does that make you insane? Well, if you are that person, just switch to the Bionic hose. Now, something that's important to understand, again, as I predicted, the 100 foot is the most popular. It always sells out first. If you're gonna go big, go big. And again, because it takes up so little space, now you can have a 100 foot hose. How many of you have gone for 50 foot, but you can't get to the back of the yard? You know, you can't get to where you wanna wash your car. You know, you can't get to the back of the garden, or maybe you're planting some new grass and you can't reach it to water it because you don't wanna have to hassle with 100 feet of those green garden hoses. Well, that's why the 100 foot always sells out, because we really want that length, but we just don't want all the awkwardness of having the green hoses. This is great. 100 feet, literally I can hold it in one hand. It's very, very lightweight. It's very compact. Just please don't miss out because we have it in stock. Now, this is important too, because our spring season of selling gardening tools and gardening items is rapidly coming to a close, because obviously we're kind of rolling on into the summer. So what we have in stock of the Bionic hoses is all we have for the entire season. And I'll give you an update on that. In the 50 foot length, I have 3,000 left. Before I went on the air, in the 75 foot, which is again, a great size, I have a little over 2,000 available. Now, I'm okay right now in the 100 foot, but we always bring more in because again, that's the one that's always the most popular, and it is the same tonight. I love the fact we have two colors, blue or the black. And you know what, Lou, something that I think a lot of us have discovered is one of the most simple things is I like having a clean car, but all of our car washes were closed. And I realized in the past I spent a lot of money going through a car wash, when really with a great hose like that, I can pretty much do it myself. Oh, is he frozen? Did we lose Lou? Okay, well, let me make my point, because I think this is important. A lot of us, I think, want to have great gardens. We want to get the Today's Special. We envision having these beautiful yards or beautiful balconies, and we got to water everything. Or we want to wash our car, and we haven't washed it for months now. Well, when you have something like this, the things that we would avoid because that green old bulky hose is just that, it's bulky, you'll now do. That's what I love about it. And as Lou said, oh my gosh, we are fortunate. We have a little boat that we own, but we need to have a hose because we're on salt water down here in Florida. So my husband has to run clean water through the engine every single time we use our boat. Guess what we have? We've got a Bionic hose. Not only does it reach to the end of our dock, but also it's easy to wrap it back up and store it away because it doesn't take up much space. Everybody needs a hose. If you live, even us, we've moved, we have no yard anymore. All we do is we have a patio. But guess what? I'm trying to grow ivies. I've got some succulent plants. We just like to spray and hose down our back patio. Well, again, you gotta have a hose. So we've now downsized to a very small space, but we realized we still needed a great hose because again, you're cleaning off things, you're cleaning off the deck, you know, you're watering the plants, you're gonna wash the car, whatever it might be, really trust that Bionic hose tonight. All right, Lou, do I have you back, darling?
Yeah, I'm here, I think.
There you are, now we've got you. Hi, buddy, what are you gonna show us next?
Okay, real quick, I just want to show you right here a comparison of how you can reel these up here. This is a 100-foot length of a regular hose, and you could just see this is a mess. To your point of earlier, Suzanne, you know, they're never ever gonna be supple like they are when you first get them. And you can see, like, you know, this thing is just jammed on here, it looks terrible. And this is the Bionic Force hose right here, and that's 125 feet of it. So there's actually more on here, and we've got room for more as well on that reel. And then lastly, right here inside this flower pot, again, over 100 feet of the Bionic Force hose, and we could easily stick more in here if we wanted to. So that, you know, this hose is lightweight, it's compact. This is an excellent hose for anybody out there